Hi folks, I'm Matt, and it's time for a board game review. Okay folks, today we're going to be talking about the 1982 Donkey Kong card game. Oh yeah, you heard me right. Look at those pieces. This is Mario before Nintendo really took off as its own video game system. Look at that. This is a card game, and how you work it, you're trying to get to Donkey Kong, who is right there, and you start off on this beam platform, and you start off on the little white dots as you see there, and just randomly is how you start there. But anyway, all players start off with a certain number of cards depending on there's what the cards look from the back there, so you're hiding them from everyone else, but you start off with a certain number of cards depending how many players you have. The rules are very simple, of course, from 1982, but it's extremely fun because you have to play a card every time, or you have to go back to the beginning if you cannot play a card. So you're always trying to play a card, and the cards you can play, of course, is ladders, which would go perpendicular to the white lines there, or beams, like that. Now, the only rules on laying these cards is you cannot lay a beam on top of a beam, duh, has to go attached to another beam. And you can't put a ladder on top of another ladder. That doesn't count. Now, all through the game, you're trying to get up to Donkey Kong, who will appear when you get to the third beam level, okay? Now, you would place him there. Now, if someone builds a higher level, Donkey Kong will automatically switch to that higher beam, wherever it would be. But for right now, let's say it's there. Now, how the game goes is you're moving through it. One of the rules is, though, you roll this die. It's just a little six-sided die, and I rolled 2, so I can go 1, 2. It's a good thing I didn't roll 3 because I can't be on the same square as someone else. If I do, I go back to the beginning. In fact, I can't even pass this person because if I can't move straight forward without any interruptions, I go back to the beginning. So there's going to be a lot of falling back to the beginning when it comes to Donkey Kong here. Now, also, what if I wanted to screw another player? Well, I'm going to play a card from my deck. Let's see. Okay, here you go. I'm going to play this card over the card. That's a fireball. So now no one can get past that card unless they have a card like the hammer. See that? That can get them to pass through it. Now, you cannot play a fireball card on a ladder where a player is on there. You can't play the card. If, like, you know, they're on the ladder here and you go, oh yeah, well, there's a fireball now. You can't do that because they're on the card. You got to wait till that card is open and clear before you can play anything like that. But same thing for beams here. Let's say I want to stop this guy, and so my next turn, I play a card over this one. It's a barrel. Oh no, how's he going to get over it? Well, don't worry. He has a jump card, and that can help him go safely through it. Now, I've never played it to where we've gotten to the end of the deck, but I'm sure eventually you'll get to the end of the deck and you have this big, immaculate Donkey Kong looking, I mean, this is the old school arcade Donkey Kong looking game, and someone has to land on the Donkey Kong circle. And you have to get the exact number. So for instance, I have to roll 1, 2, 3, 4. If I roll a 5, what happens? Well, you can't go backwards and forwards. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't do that. You can go in one direction at the start of your turn. So maybe on my next turn, if I roll a 5, if I go up, I go right back to the beginning. So I may go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as I'm not bumping into another person. If I do, then I'm going to go all the way to the back. So you're going to have a lot of people bumping way to the back. Actually, every time I play this game, it hasn't happened yet. Someone actually rolls the exact number for Donkey Kong, but that rarely happens. But anyway, that is Donkey Kong, the card game from 1982. All right, so let's talk about this card game, because the first time I played it was at Gen Con. Remember I told you a few weeks ago about Flip? Well, we played the McDonald's game, and afterwards my mind was just blown. I said, what else do you have? Okay, there's this nice little bag here. I said, what's in the bag? He's like, well, I got another game if you want to play. It's a Donkey Kong card game. I went, bring it. And we played that one, and I had just as much fun. I was like, this is so cool, and this is right up all my friends' alleys. It's a nice, quick game. For people who are old enough to remember the arcade game and have fond memories of it, it's a nice, quick card game. It's a lot of fun to play. I love it. So I found it. In fact, the one I bought, I got for a great deal on eBay, practically about $15 cheaper than you can find it. It usually goes for about $30, $35. I found mine for $20, and it was a great deal. In fact, it had never been opened. The original price tag was on it. Someone paid $2. some discount store. The wrapping was there. All of the pieces hadn't even been popped out. And heck yeah, I opened it up. But my set is brand freaking new, and it looks great. Yours may not look so great, but let me tell you, is the game worth it? Only if you played the arcade game back in the day, or you just really love the character Donkey Kong and you remember the old arcade game. That's the only reason you should buy it. Is it fun just as a regular game? I think so, but that's because of the fireballs and the barrels and that you can jump or hit a hammer with it. Would someone get that if they didn't play the arcade game? Maybe. I think I know kids would love it once they get the hang of it. It's just a fun little fast, easy card game. So there you have it, gamers. Another board game review. I'll be back some other time to do another one. Until then, you know what to do. Game on!